Hey guys, Sen here. When I woke up this morning, everyone on Discord was saying that the Graveyard spell is the most broken spell in the history of Clash of Clans, even better than the Bat spell on release. If anyone remembers the old Bat spell, Town Hall 10s were 3-starring Town Hall 12s back when Town Hall 12 was the highest level, so naturally I was skeptical. But then I watched the replays and tried it out for myself, and now I can say as well, Graveyard spell is on par with the old Bat spell inside what is probably the craziest army you will ever see. Check this out. Alright, so this attack is done by Patrick, a member of our Discord community, and watch what he does to this base. Look at that army composition, 25 Rams. Half of his armies was Rams, and then the other half is 9 Super Wizards, and he has 3 Graveyard spells. The defender is not put in this ruins over here, so he just brings a Slurry Barrel for that. But other than that, look at this base. This is Itsu's layout. This is one of the bases that he shared. This is not a joke base, and watch what happens. He's dropping his Graveyard spells inside the Rocket Artillery dead zones, as well as another one up ahead to tank for his Super Wizards, and then after he just spams in all his Wizards, it's just time to trickle in his Rams one by one. When the Rams die, they will generate a constant stream of skeletons so they don't all get splashed down, and they will continuously tank with those shields that they have because they're ground skeletons for all of those defenses for his Wizards to go in and chain everything down. Look at how much damage he is doing on this first attack. This should not be allowed. What? His troops are everywhere on the map, but the defenses are all distracted on the Larrys and the Rams and the Barbarians that they cannot shoot at the Wizards. The Wizards are just walking through like they are the VIPs in town and wrecking everything. I don't know how you can defend this attack, and I don't think you can. This will be hotfixed. I'm telling you now, this will be changed probably by next raid weekend, so take advantage of this now. This is the most broken thing ever. He is getting 80% and counting, 86% now. Had he had 1 Larry Barrel instead of 3 of those Rams, he would have taken down Itsu's Balloon Lagoon in 1 attack. What the heck? This strategy works against every single base except Barbarian camps in some cases, as well as Dragon Cliffs. Everything else, against any layout, this strategy will work, and against compact bases like this, it will absolutely destroy. So use this strategy while it lasts. Alright, so after I watched all the replays, it was time for me to try out this attack on my own. So I'm starting off with the Barbarian to clear out some of those trash buildings on the entry. And you can see against this Golden Quarry, it has those 2 Rocket Artilleries and that Blast Boat in the same area. And it doesn't matter the layout, but that just means I'm going to enter from there to get all of that value. I drop in those 2 Graveyard spells around those areas so I can constantly distract all those defenses with my Larrys while I drop in those Rams to tank. I'm just dropping in my Rams everywhere. I'm not being strategic at all. I'm not going to pretend like this requires any skill. You just drop in your troops and watch as they go. Just make sure you don't drop in all your Rams too fast, because you do want to get a constant stream of Larrys coming from your graveyards. But I also am CH10, and so I only brought 2 Graveyard spells, and I brought a Rage instead. Usually, you still want to bring 3 Graveyard spells even at CH10, but because there was just that huge value section of the base that I wanted to push through really fast with my Wizards, I decided that I would just cut a Graveyard spell and go with the Rage spell. But other than that, if you don't want to think too hard, just use 3 Graveyard spells and just drop them down where there's not a Crusher, a Bomb Tower, or a Wizard Tower. Those are like the main 3 defenses you don't want to be dropping your Graveyard spells on. We just have a Ram left that we're just going to play real fast, and it's time to roll through the rest of this space. So right now, I see that this multi-mortar, once it's down, there's no more splash coverage over here, and there's still 2 Graveyard spells. Remember, the Graveyard spell lasts for 2 attacks for some reason, and so we take that down. Graveyard Skellies are going to spawn over there and take out that entire section, so that's what we do. This time, we're coming in with the classic 3 Graveyards, drop them in the dead zones of the Blast Bow and the Rocket Artillery, and then another one up ahead a little bit, and it's just time to spam the rest of this base. I mean, what can this base do? There are skeletons everywhere. All the Rams have opened up the wall, so now the Rams are targeting literally any wall. They're not even going inside the base anymore. This strategy is so dumb, and it's so stupidly hard to defend. I have tried this in friendly challenges, and it has worked against every one of my bases. I've not been able to two-shot my bases before, but now all of them just get completely rolled by this. Look at this, there are skeletons all across the map. There's probably like 300 troops left on the field after this base goes down in 2 attacks. This is not okay. What the heck? Next up, we have a Builder's Workshop. This is a super spread out base. The strategy works better against compact bases, but this will work as well. It works against anything, to be honest. We're going to drop in 1 Larry or 1 Graveyard Spell inside of the Blasto Dead Zone, and then 1 on top of the Giant Cannon. Distract those 2 major defenses, and we'll just hold on to the other Graveyard Spell for the backside of the base. Then after those are down, we drop in a couple of Rams to get those Graveyard Skeletons rolling, and then a couple more Rams to keep distracting for our wizards to go in and just chain down the entire world. This Blast Bow is just going to be so distracted by everything that's not going to be able to shoot at our wizards until it's about to go down. So our forces are just moving through. That Ram is about to hit a useless wall. You get to this point where you've opened up so many walls that nothing no Rams can go for any important walls anymore, but we drop in that last Graveyard Spell at an angle for that Giant Cannon so the rest of our troops can approach from the right side and just go in and assassinate it while it's just shooting at basically nothing. So yeah, we're at only 36% of the base, but we have taken out most of what is important on the base with a Blast Bow, a Giant Cannon, now another Giant Cannon, and we have an entire parade still moving on through. They're going to get blasted by that multi-mortar, unfortunately, but we have so many wizards still alive and a bunch of Rams still in the camp to tank this backside Giant Cannon. And this 1 Graveyard Spell that we dropped in last, and those other 2 are still spawning a couple more skeletons, and they will also be active on the finishing attack. We'll drop in 1 Larry Barrel to go in for that Giant Cannon. We want to take that out as well. I was honestly pretty close to taking out this base in 1 attack as well. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't know. There are bases now where you can take out in 1 attack that aren't just default bases or bases where people are win trading. So with this strategy, if you get lucky and find the right base, you can start taking out some serious bases out in 1 attack. We're at 65%, but there's like nothing left on this base. We're going to come in and just finish with the same thing. This time we have a Rage, so we can just push through that Giant Cannon really fast on the backside. I was just trying to get through my attacks really fast. This isn't the best way to get the most bonus gold. I probably would have just finished off with Fortress if I was trying to be super sweaty, but I was just trying to have fun with this strategy, and we will ×2 as all of the troops just start converging. There is just so much chaos on the screen. This is so not fair, but this is the world we now live in. And finally, we have the Capital Peak, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't plan any of these hits that I've shown in the video from me for more than 30 seconds. All you have to do is look at the base, see where you want to enter in it. This is obviously a symmetrical base, but the Super Dragon is closer to the right side, and so I want to avoid it on the first attack, so we're pushing in through the left side of the base. And then, so we're going to have to bring in a couple of Barbarians to clear all of these clan houses. That'll open up the map so we can deploy troops all along the left side over there. And we're going to do a wide entry with the wizards and try to just take down everything over here. And then afterwards, you have to plan where you want to drop your graveyards. And that's pretty simple. When there's a Rocket Artillery and a Blast Bow, you want to drop in the dead zones on top of those. And then if there's any remaining graveyard spells, you want to drop it to distract, say, any Giant Cannons or any other major splash defenses that would absolutely wreck your wizards and your Rams. But other than that, we will ×2 or ×4 as my Barbarians clear what's left on the base, and then we'll drop in a couple of wizards and they can snipe a couple more clan houses from range. And at this point, it is just time to go, 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 go. Drop in your Rams, drop in your graveyards like so, and just watch as the base goes down. There is no skill involved in this attack. You can just expect insane results without putting in any work because the wizards are just invincible. Those Rams and those Larrys will just continuously tank for them. I drop in that 1 zap to reset the Spirit Thrower that is targeting one of my wizards, but other than that, they're just going to go in, take out that Inferno Tower, push on in even further, take out a huge chunk up the left side of the base, and we are basically already here to attack their Capital Peak. And we're going to come in with the second attack, and we're going to bring a Rage for it. Because the Capital Peak has a lot of HP, it's really good to have a Rage to push through it. You also want to bring a couple more Giants than I have, especially when you're attacking the Capital, because it'll target on top of your wizards. even if you have your Rams down, because it goes for the highest HP. And just look at this dragon though. This dragon just can't do anything. The wizards, with the distraction of the Larrys, are just gonna chain it down like it's nothing. Usually when people are using wizards against super dragons, it's a horrible idea, but in this strategy, who cares about dragons? The wizards are going to take care of them, especially under rage. And because I don't have any giants, that capital peak is raining down on my wizards, one after the other, taking them down. But we have a ton of force on top of that capital peak, and they are going to take it out on this attack. And because the graveyard spells last for 2 attacks, you just become stronger and stronger the more attacks you use. And so the first attack, you usually don't get as much, but sometimes, like on that Balloon Lagoon, you can absolutely wreck the base on the first attack. It's usually the second or the third hit that will absolutely melt the base afterwards. We are going to take care of this blast bow first before we drop in our troops, take out the air bombs with archers, and then drop in 2 barbarians in the dead zone of that blast bow, and it'll help take that out. We're getting a couple of Larrys starting to trickle through from the last graveyard spell, but once that blast bow goes down, we are going to really start dropping in all of our troops. A couple of giants as a finisher on the finishing attack is a very good idea, because you saw that against the Golem Quarry. You run out of walls for your Rams, and then they just start targeting anything. So you'd rather just have a couple of giants to be safe, so the giants can go forward and tank for your wizards, so you don't run into any problems with Rams not going forwards anymore. But other than that, the giants are also good at absorbing a lot of traps, and so if there's a lot of traps on the backside, they'll be able to clean out what is left on the base. But there's just one poor Crusher left, and because the Larrys have shields, the Crusher isn't even able to kill any of them. Holy cow, this strategy is so dumb. You have to use this before it gets nerfed, because it's honestly pretty fun for the first couple of times, so I imagine it's going to get really frustrating as people start using it against us. So yeah, this Graveyard Super Wizard Ram Smash Attack, whatever you want to call it, is so broken and brain dead. I tried to get this out as soon as I could in the raid weekend, so hopefully you haven't spent all your attacks yet and you can try this out. I was only using level 2 and level 3 graveyards. We don't even have it maxed yet, but it's still this powerful. And I mentioned that this attack was created on our Discord. You should totally join that too to keep up to date with all the newest and coolest attacks. Link in the description. But like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and take care.